Looking at a few of the things I've gotten done recently, the radiator cap and filler is on, the radiator hoses are on, the overflow and this little hose that goes to the head down there somewhere, there it is on. That radiator hose and that radiator hose are on. Power valve cables. I pulled this overflow tank out of the way. Just have it bungeed over here. I don't know if this will show up, but there's a number 1 on that top power valve cable. And there's a number 2 somewhere in here for the lower power valve cable. And coincidentally, there's a 1 here and a 2 here. These are Yambits cables. I know that the wire was much smaller diameter. I think the outer jacket was too. I hope these things hold up. I think they will. They're new. I'm going to screw this all the way down. Same thing with the number 1 cable. It's really hard to make this video without getting my hands in the way. This pulley needs to come off to get these wires properly seated in here. 2. This pulley has an alignment indent there, and there's a hole back behind that thing. You need to insert a 4mm something in here. I can tighten the pulley. Back these guys off till there's 0 play. Man, that thing's almost out. This number 1 cable wasn't seated on the servo up there. Let's pull this guy up some more. These guys have no play. Now turn 1/4 turn. Yeah, I was afraid of this. This thing's all the way out. I can't tighten the lock nut. See that? It's not even threaded in there. I need some sort of spacer, something that goes in here. I wonder if there's such a thing. See that guy right there? That's what I need for those power valve cables. This was or is a new old stock Spec 2 cable assembly that came from Spec 2, set up for these VM30s that are on this bike. And this is the oil pump cable, and it has that spacer on there that came with the throttle and the whole kit. I need that for those power valve cables. But the ones for these cables would be smaller diameter. But I'm going to go look up cable parts and accessories. I know there's places that specialize in this type of stuff. See if I can find something that'll work here. These cable adjusters came in from eBay. I actually have 4 of them. I thought I was buying them as each, but they came as a pair. Apparently they came from porkchopbmx.com. I'm not using this part of them. I am using this part. I did a little R&D work, and these cables would work like this with these extensions on them, but it's very tight. But I could get it to adjust properly. But I'm going to cut 1/4 inch off of each of these and do this again. I need to clean that groove out on the end there so the cable doesn't get frayed. This is shrink tubing. I don't know if it's this end is going to shrink enough. We'll find out. Looks like it did shrink down onto the outer jacket of the cable. I have both of the cables on the pulley. Come over here and see if I can get this other end. Miraculously, these M6 cable adjusters will gently thread right into this servo. Both of those cable adjusters are now in the servo motor. The top cable is number 1. And the bottom cable is number 2. Let's see how this works out. Take out all the free play, then go back a quarter turn. That's cool. These things are not pulling out of here like they did before. It's strange that the adjustment on these two are not equal. It might be that when I turn the key switch later, I may have to adjust it again. Right now I have no battery and I don't think I hooked up my harness. I didn't. I think that little mod is going to be helpful. I went and borrowed a battery out of another bike, hooked up the ignition switch, turned it on, and the YPVS cycled, but this thing was clocked way over here when it finished. So I've realigned this pulley, and now these cable adjusters are nearly equal. Much better.